Aloha, and welcome on back to another episode of I'm a Hypocrite. If you don't understand what I mean by that, I once made a video, probably one of the better videos on my channel, talking about unpopular opinions and why I don't like them. Here's a clip. People have started to use the unpopular opinion just to make people mad. I go on to say that a lot of unpopular opinions are only said for clout chasing, and that they don't either mean what they say or they do, but they are only doing it to get attention. And I can't even really blame them because it works. People do give them attention for this. I said in the video that I disagree with it and I don't like it. So that's why I'm going to do the same thing right now. So, spoilers from here on out because I'm going to be talking about WandaVision, the new MCU show. So if you haven't seen it yet, or if you don't have Disney Plus or whatever, and you want to avoid spoilers, click off the video right now. I'm not going to be talking about the specific spoiler really long, but just the rest of the video kind of hinges on the knowledge that I'm going to say here, so if you don't want to know, please click off the video now and come back. Who am I kidding? They're not going to come back. Are they gone? Bunch of losers don't have Disney Plus. Boo. We can now talk about the show. It's really great. The next episode is, when I'm filming this, is going to come out later this week, but by the time I get this video up, it'll probably already be out. But I want to talk about one specific thing in the show, and that is Quicksilver. Now, if you know the history of the MCU, you know that Quicksilver was introduced in Avengers Age of Ultron. He probably wasn't called Quicksilver in the movie, but I can't really remember if he was or wasn't. Anyway, Pietro Maximoff, aka Quicksilver, was in that movie and was played Aaron Taylor Johnson. He had a few good scenes in it. I'll show you some of the good ones that I find right now.
You didn't see that coming?
Want a candy?
You're saying?
Getting them out.
We're under attack! Clear the city, now! Get off your asses.
See, that's pretty much the gist of him. He didn't have a lot of screen time, and by the end of the movie, he died.
You didn't see that coming.
So that's not great. The rumor of why they killed him is because they didn't have rights to use him throughout the whole MCU, like, because they were doing the whole split thing with Fox, and they weren't sure that they could use him, or they knew they couldn't or whatever, so they kind of stopped after the one movie. But anyway, that's that. And it's weird because after that movie, one of the biggest criticisms I've had of the MCU is they kind of just never addressed him again. Like, even Wanda, like, I don't even remember her specifically saying anything about him after Avengers 2. She might have had an offhand remark in Civil War, or maybe even in the two newest Avengers movies, but it hasn't been very long, and they barely touched on his death whatsoever after he died, which is why I thought it was really strange that they kept mentioning him in WandaVision. In the early episodes of that show, they mentioned him like 3 or 4 times, and that's the most he's ever been mentioned since his death, so I knew something was up. And then, in the fill-in-the-blank episode, I can't remember which one he appeared in, he finally showed up! Kinda. Who actually showed up was another actor who's been playing Quicksilver, Evan Peters, who was playing him in the Fox X-Men movies, that being Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. Now here's the thing, I haven't seen Dark Phoenix, so I can't really say the quality of that film, but I can of the other two. I really liked Days of Future Past. It's probably my favorite X-Men movie. I thought it was really well handled. I loved the transition into the new cast with the old cast. I didn't like X-Men First Class. I always kind of forget that movie exists. I know a lot of people like it, but to me it felt like the most boring of them. I don't know why. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Evan Peters being in the MCU, and they're all like, oh, finally, we get the good Quicksilver. You know, I didn't like the other guy, this one's the better. And I kind of disagree. Don't get me wrong, I think both Quicksilvers have good qualities about them. I'm just saying that Evan Peters isn't the best one. So anyway, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about that recently, so I commented something on one of the Facebook posts that I saw about it. Yes, Facebook, I use Facebook. I don't know why. Let me read you what I said. The only reason people like Peter's version more is because of the running and slowing down scene in Days of Future Past. Then all they did with that character was repeat the same thing, only worse than the next one. I haven't seen Dark Phoenix to comment on his role there, but based on the box office numbers, neither did anyone else. I know, that was a great roast. But I do believe that's true. I love the scene in Days of Future Past. Literally everyone loves that scene. You know, this scene.
If I could save time in a bottle, like a treasure, and then again I would spend them with you to find them.
Yeah, that was the highlight of that movie, and it was a good movie, and that was in it, and everyone loved it. And I totally get it. I love that scene too. After that, I feel like Fox didn't know what to do with Quicksilver, so they just kind of did the same thing again in Apocalypse, and it like wasn't as good. But that's pretty much all the character was for the majority of those movies. Now, Apocalypse's role was a little bit bigger, but I got a lot of replies on this. I'm not going to read all of them because I got a lot of them, but here are a few. MCU Pietro is generic and boring. Nothing about him, his look, his lines, or his delivery. Fox's Pietro can actually act and be likable. But the thing is, the MCU Pietro wasn't supposed to be like this funny, go-happy guy. He made a few jokes, but for the most part, I mean, think about his role in that movie for a minute. He was a guy whose parents have been killed, was radicalized by a group and tortured, and then and at the beginning of the movie was the villain until he changed and they realized Ultron was bad and he became a hero, and then he died. There wasn't any really room to grow there or be likable or have any sort of personality because most of it was just, I'm a villain, I switched, now I'm dead. He had a few really good lines in there, and like I said earlier when I showed you those clips, I do like this version. He had good moments. Just people don't remember that because at the end of the movie, he died. Or the fact that even before that film, he could outrun bullets, like when he helped break Magneto out of the Max prison in the first place. And the Kick-Ass version couldn't. Basically, they're saying, oh, well, this guy couldn't outrun bullets, and he could. That's not the point of that scene. I know a lot of people always say, well, it's stupid that he died from bullets. And I mean, it kind of is, but the point of the scene wasn't, hey, I'm gonna, try to move the bullets out of the way, and I just happened to get hit. What happened was, the bullets were already fired. He quickly ran in front of Hawkeye with his back to the bullets, protecting the girl and Hawkeye in the process and getting hit. But he never tried to move the bullets because that wasn't the point of that scene. He wanted to go out saving people. Nobody remembers that part. It's just, haha, you got shot by bullets. Your unpopular opinion is that he is popular because they showed him use his powers and people enjoyed that. No, my unpopular opinion is that people unfairly criticize Aaron Taylor Johnson's. No, we like him because he's literally not figuratively better. Funnier, dresses cooler, way better actor, didn't get shot faster, didn't get shot. He does other stuff other than dying, and bad accents, and oh yeah, didn't get shot by a normal gun. This is the last one I'm going to respond to, and I mean, I even replied, and I said, I mean, all of that is good and all, but it's all superficial. Also, it's not Aaron Taylor Johnson's fault that the MCU only had the rights for him for a short time and decided to kill him. He didn't write get shot by bullets in the street in the script is all I'm saying. And that is very true. Now what I didn't say in that is obviously it's not Evan Peters' fault that they just reused the same scene twice in the two X-Men movies, but the fact that he dressed cooler, who cares? That's not, that's not a point to bring up as why a character is better than another one. He's funnier. Again, because that was the point of the character. He was comic relief in those two movies. Aaron Taylor Johnson's version wasn't supposed to be funny. He did have a few funny scenes, but that wasn't the point of the character. Anyway, I got more responses, but a lot of them I don't really have any funny thing to say about them, or like anything really. I just want to say that. And also my camera's dying, so I have to wrap this up pretty quickly. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below what you think about the two Pietros, which one's better and why. Or do you not really have a favorite and you just like them both? That's kind of where I fall. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!